Hello, my dear video game lovers. Today you will find out. According to rumors, the events of Resident Evil 9 will unfold on an island in the Southeast Asian Sea, inspired by Singapore. The gothic shooter Trench Tales has been announced. The largest team in EA history is working on the next game in the Battlefield series. Rumor: the next Tomb Raider will be set in India. The game will feature a motorcycle, a parachute, and an open world. An insider revealed new features of Assassin's Creed Infinity. We're going to share these and other news with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You are on the Fox Games News channel. Well, we're starting. Over the past few years, there have been many rumors about Resident Evil 9, the next installment of the popular Capcom franchise. The other day, we heard a rumor about the approximate release date, and today we learned about the location of the upcoming game. Although Capcom has not officially announced the name of the game yet, Dusk Golem, a well-known insider who has repeatedly published information about Resident Evil in the past, recently indicated that it will be released in early 2025, and the scene will be an island in the Southeast Asian Sea. A fictional rural town on an island in the Southeast Asian Sea, inspired by Singapore. Alexander Ponomarev, a well-known game developer, Prey, Path of Exile, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Rise of the Tomb Raider, launched a new third-person shooter project called Trench Tales on Kickstarter. The game takes place in the alternate world of Verdun, where the main character must figure out how to return home, exploring the gothic reality between the First and Second World Wars. Supernatural abilities such as time dilation and vision through walls will be available in the game. The release is scheduled for March 2025 on Steam, possibly on consoles. To successfully complete the project, it is required to raise $60,000, but at the moment the studio has only about $4,000. CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson, said that the largest team in the company's history is working on the new Battlefield game. He expressed confidence in the success of the game and called it another amazing service game. It is expected that a new game in the Battlefield series will be introduced in 2024. EA recently confirmed that the 7th season of Battlefield 2042 will be the final season of the game. Insider V.S. Cooper, who previously shared true rumors about movies and TV series, reports that according to him, the action of the next part of Tomb Raider will unfold in India. According to the insider, this time the developers will present a full-fledged open world, and so that it does not become a routine during the passage, players will have the opportunity to quickly move. A parachute, a motorcycle, and other vehicles that they can use at any time. According to him, the game will be released in less than a year, if there are no delays. For several years in a row, rumors have been circulating online about a certain Assassin's Creed Infinity. It was supposed to be a new stealth action game from Ubisoft, but more and more leaks indicate that this is not really a game in the usual sense. Assassin's Creed Infinity will present a unique platform for players, where all the games of this franchise, including old and new parts, can be found in one launcher. An authoritative insider under the nickname J. Jonathan has revealed new information about this unusual platform. As the author of the leaks notes, he's not completely sure of the reliability of the information provided. It was obtained not from the developers, but through third-party intermediaries who allegedly participate in the creation of Assassin's Creed Infinity. Nevertheless, J0 Nathan is confident that his information is close to the truth, and he nevertheless decided to share it. So, according to an insider, Ubisoft plans to actively monetize Assassin's Creed Infinity. In fact, this platform will become a new round among in-game purchases. It will be a free platform that, through a separate subscription, will provide access to the released games of the Assassin's Creed series. Also, a subscription to Assassin's Creed Infinity will allow you to receive additions to new games and unique bonus items. Exclusive skins or items, as well as other bonuses, will be released monthly to users. As reported, Assassin's Creed Infinity will be launched this year along with the release of Assassin's Creed Codename Red.
An independent development team from Hanier Studio surprised the gaming community in 2022 with the announcement of the atmospheric medieval action game Blight Survival. The game promises to combine fascinating elements of survival, horror, and co-op for 4 people. There will be realistic graphics and a spectacular action game. The authors are not yet ready to name a release date for Blight Survival, but the production of the game is officially moving to a new stage today. A new stage in the development of the project implies a deal with the company Behavior Interactive. The studio retains its full independence and creative freedom, but this collaboration means serious progress in the development of Blight Survival. Behavior Interactive will act as the publisher of the game and will also provide secondary support in production, both technical and media related. In the next few months, new information is expected to be released, and possibly the announcement of the release date of Blight Survival. Shadow of the Erdtree DLC for Elden Ring will be the only addition for the RPG. In a new interview, Elden Ring game director and From Software studio head Hidetaka Miyazaki commented on the possibility of other DLC for Elden Ring. From Software has a track record of releasing multiple DLC for their games. For example, Dark Souls 3 received 2 full expansions. However, Miyazaki stated that Shadow of the Erdtree will be the first and last DLC for Elden Ring. When Shadow of the Erdtree is released next month, the game will not receive any more story DLC, but Miyazaki is not ruling out the possibility of releasing another full-fledged Elden Ring game. The director said that From Software's style of creating and developing games naturally leaves the door open for another game set in the world of Elden Ring, though Miyazaki certainly didn't confirm that Elden Ring will definitely get a sequel. After numerous delays and recent reports of development issues, Ubisoft said that XDefiant's release date would finally be announced, and now that moment has finally arrived. The company has announced that the multiplayer free-to-play shooter will release on May 21st, 2024. XDefiant will begin a pre-season that will last 6 weeks, followed by a seasonal post-launch update of the game. Upon release, the game will feature 5 modes, 14 maps, 5 factions, and 24 weapons. In addition, a ranked mode training playlist will be available, featuring 4v4v4 versions of all modes except Hotshot. The first year, 4 seasons will add 4 factions, 12 maps, and 12 weapons to the game, as well as new modes, ranked and private matches, training zones, and more. XDefiant will be available on PS5, Xbox Series XS and PC. This week it became known about Take-Two's plans to close 2 studios, Roll 7 and Intercept Games. Despite the fact that the company has promised to support the development of the Kerbal Space Program 2, which is now in early access on Steam, players do not believe in such promises. The owners of the game began to leave negative reviews of the game en masse. In recent days alone, the game has received over 500 negative reviews on Steam, which has greatly affected the overall rating of the game. Players are disappointed with the publisher's decision to close the studio and do not believe that the game will be brought to mind. Players write that they will never buy an early access game from Take-Two publishing house again. Take-Two acted in a rather sneaky way, as is typical of this publisher in recent years. The company decided to close the studio almost immediately after Steam introduced a new rule, according to which players cannot request a refund for an early access game if many hours were spent in it. The sci-fi role-playing game Starfield from Bethesda Studio was released last fall. Much to my surprise, Starfield became one of the studio's worst games, receiving a lot of negative feedback from players. Players note a number of problems in the game, but the main game designer of the game, Todd Howard, knows the true reason for this reaction. According to the developer, the new Bethesda Studio game just turned out to be too different for fans from what they did in the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. If you look at user ratings on Steam and even outside the digital store, many players, on the contrary, scold Starfield for being too similar to the studio's past games. gamers believe that instead of the large, seamless space that Todd Howard promised, they got a huge set of locations or levels. Because of this, the game has too many annoying loading screens and primitive systems for exploring identical planets. Also, the technical condition of the game was at a low level. Players even on Xbox consoles encountered terrible crashes and bugs during the launch of the game, and PC gamers suffered from performance problems. These problems were solved only after several major patches. Madfinger Games, a Czech independent game studio, was pleased to announce a significant event in just 4 days. More than 500,000 copies of Grey Zone Warfare and 250,000 copies of DLC were officially sold. The game is still in early access, but already pleases the players. The publisher writes that this incredible achievement would not have been possible without the support of dedicated players, the press and developers. Every article, positive or not, review or mention has contributed to our success, and for that we are deeply grateful. We continue to strive to create interesting content, listen to player feedback, and continue to push the boundaries of Grey Zone Warfare. There is an ongoing discussion in the community and between players and developers of Arrowhead Game Studios about the requirement to link a PSN account to the PC version of Helldivers 2. Representatives of the team reiterated that they do not intend to require such an element in countries not supported by the Sony service, indirectly inviting players to continue the protest. It turned out that Sony required a mandatory PSN account to play Helldivers 2 on PC. The problem escalated, causing heated debate and even the inevitable review bombing. But as a result of the conflict, the players won a complete victory. Sony has abandoned the mandatory binding of PSN in Helldivers 2, and the players have staged a large-scale cleanup operation to remove negative reviews for the game. This mission was another clear example of how huge and well-coordinated the audience of Helldivers 2 is. In exactly 1 day, the players managed to write a record number of positive reviews for the game. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. See you in the new video.